Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
I'm Laura. Welcome to the Pattern Queens episode 167. Today is Sunday, January 19th, and it's 8 degrees outside. And this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and ramblings and lots of shenanigans and 24 hours of cross stitch weekend.
Yes. And we did this crazy 24 hours in one go.
Yes, we did. Yes,
And
we did.
I dozed through it. And Keisha,
Did not doze through it. Though there were a couple of times where I was like, did I just fall asleep with my eyes open? Maybe.
and how long were you up?
So we decided that we were going to stitch me, Lara, and Katie. We stitched from 7 o'clock p.m. on Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. I woke up at 7 a.m. on Friday and did not get a nap. So I was up for over 36 hours. I was at hour 36 of being awake at the end of our 24 hours. But
Yeah, it was a long one for Keisha.
it's a long.
And the 24 hours starts at 11 p.m. on Thursday and runs through 11 p.m. tonight. I believe that's because Jen is probably East Coast.
Easter. Yeah. And we're
Um,
central.
and we had planned to do this weekend all on our own. Um, and then somebody said, well, I think it's the 24 hours weekend. And I went and looked and I'm like, oh, yes, it is. It really seriously is. So we're just on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just because I have Monday off of work. So it
Yep,
ended
and
up
me
being,
too.
yeah. So it ended up working out. But what we forgot to say is welcome. Welcome,
Yes.
everyone. Welcome. We're
Thank you
glad
for
you're here.
joining us. Yes. We know that you have lots of choices. We're glad you've chosen to come and join us. I would say grab a beverage and some stitching because we're probably still a little discombobulated.
I'm so sorry for what I'm going to say. We thought about filming while we were doing the 24 hours of cross stitch, but there were some times where you probably, I don't know, I may have been entertaining. At one point, I was like, why are we doing this? I'm having a lovely time, but why are we doing this?
And I think it always sounds like such a cool, fun idea. Oh, we're going to stay up for 24 hours and stitch. You don't stitch the whole time. You're so exhausted, you can't make your brain work.
Right.
Now, we both made really significant progress, and we probably have some tips after going through this again. So, my
Mhm.
tip is don't do it.
My tip is be team sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and it would be different. Like Keisha is at a point in her life where she doesn't really have the option to have a good nap before we start.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, I don't even know that you could have done that on a weekend.
No, but I am at a point in my life where I am only a few months removed from barely sleeping.
Yeah.
So,
And sleep deprivation's not such a bad thing,
yeah,
right?
no, so I mean, catch me a couple months ago and I was waking up every 3 hours and just barely sleeping at all anyway. So,
Yeah. So you kind of get used to just functioning.
mhm.
I, however, am in my let's get a lot of sleep era. So
Mm.
yeah, I was, and this is just a time period during the month where I sleep. Like
Mhm.
I sit still and I fall asleep.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, I had, let's see, I'm gonna see if I can find this picture for you real fast. I had the cutest lap partner.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I'm okay. Who
Mhm.
looked like this on my lap.
Yes. So Laura had more obstacles to staying awake than I did because I was sitting at an office chair, at a table, stitching away. Laura is sitting in the chair sitting in now with a blanket on and a nice warm cat.
Oh yeah,
So,
and that cat puts out so much heat. I was
Mhm.
okay until she jumped over in my lap, and then I was just like,
Yeah.
and I was just
Like,
gone. And Katie kept bopping me and saying, "Mom."
it was very funny because like toward the end, we were watching a show and Katie's like, Keisha, look. And I look over and you just are sitting in exactly the same position with your eyes closed. And I was like, she powered down.
And then I was awake. Keisha, I heard Keisha say that, and I was awake. So it was so funny because it was like long blinks. You would blink and close
Uh-huh.
your eyes, and then Wait, they should be open.
It was pretty funny. But yeah, if you're going to be a person who does 24 hours of cross stitch, we did it. We did the first stretch overnight and then went into the next day, which was nice because well, it was dark by the time we ended, but we had sunlight during the really rough time.
Hmm. If
And
you did this during summer,
mhm,
it really pays off to start about 6 or 7 o'clock at night,
mhm,
because then when you end, and when we did it in the summer, we started at 6.
mm,
But then when you end, it is still light outside.
yeah.
So you go through the dark in the time that you're probably the most awake, and then you have daylight when you are hitting the later hours of the challenge.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. So that's a good tip. If you ever wanted to see your stitches reset on Pattern Keeper at 4 in the morning, got to experience that.
I
Uh,
set an alarm on my
mhm,
watch to go off at 3:45 so that I would make sure that I marked off and recorded the stitches that I was doing,
mhm,
because I was kind of in a pattern where I didn't have to mark things off. And I marked everything off and recorded it. And then I started marking things off again, and the totals reset, but my mark off stayed on there until I hit the check mark to get them to mark off.
And then I'd say also bring a pattern that is easy straight lines or easy fill or something like that for whenever you get really tired. I also brought mill hills with me, but I didn't work on them during the 24 hours. But I was like, that would be a good
You
project
get
if
to
my eyes
see,
just wouldn't do it anymore.
yep, you'll get to see some amazing progress from Keisha
Yeah,
um, project.
I did about 1,000 stitches on one of my projects. So, and I'll show you a before and after picture.
I will say that we were both working on models. Keisha finished hers. I did a while on mine, and then we decided that it was probably better that I just stop so that I didn't have ugly stitches in the
Right.
model.
Right.
And the other thing is that I'm doing daily stitches on my blessing sampler, and we're doing our 25/7. And we were working on those. Well, you did your 25/7 a little bit earlier, but I was finishing up my blessing sampler closer to midnight and starting on my 25/7.
Mhm.
And I decided that I would just power through and do Saturday's
Mhm.
stitches on them.
Yeah.
We both did that. So we did them on one side of midnight and on the other side of midnight.
Yeah, because I figured my 25/7, which we'll show you here in a little bit, is I'm doing 1/1 on 32, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that the next
Yeah.
day.
And
So,
it was funny because when I said that, Keisha was like, "Oh,
yeah,
yeah."
you're right.
Yeah. And normally, if you've been around here, you know that normally I count my stitches as that day until I go to bed. Well, I
Mhm.
decided staying up for 24 hours was the exception to that
Right.
rule. So,
Right. Yeah.
anyway, shall we get into some stitching?
Sure, let's talk about it.
Okay, I'm going to start with some stash unless
All
you
right.
have some stash.
No, I don't really have anything to
Okay.
show.
So last week I showed you my pillow that I finished off from Artist Designs. That's one of the Chesapeake Bay series. And I told you that I bought um some chenille to finish it. What's
Mhm.
funny is it was still laying in the car.
Oh.
I looked and looked and I'm like, what the heck? So it must have fallen out. But I got vintage, which is this
Ooh.
creamy and brown. And Katie is the one who suggested that this would be the color to use.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
So I think that'll be cool. I did not get stuff out and get it stitched up, obviously, but you know. The other thing I did was realize that I'm behind on the kits.
Mm.
So I ordered and received this one is just called Seahorses, and it's Chesapeake
Mm.
Bay number 5. So I'm trying to think if I've done 2 or 3, but this is number 5. So you can get it just as a chart, or you
Mhm.
can get it as a kit, which I really like. She sends, she's done, I think there are three colors in this,
Hmm.
and she has put them together. She hand dyes the 18 count Ada that's
Hmm.
in there. She sends you backing fabric to do it. And there's a little charm
Oh.
in there too, which on the last one, I took mine and hung it off of one of the corners with the little,
Mhm.
just a little, whatever you call it, light bulb pin.
Yeah.
That's what I call them.
Hmm.
So if you don't have this series, it is really sweet. It's easy to stitch up, and because I ordered this and said, "How did I miss this? Where have I been?" She wrote me a little note that said, "You should check at Market."
Oh.
So I think there's a new one coming out.
Oh, and she's a lovely person.
Yes, she really is. And her room is just,
The
if you need to
happiest.
breathe and yes, and get your positive vibes hit, you walk in
Mhm.
her room.
Yes,
So
for sure.
I ordered a couple of things from Garon. One of them I've already put away. It's my cottage garden threads that I
Mm.
need for oh my gosh, for the blue flower chart that was in the BNS box that has the owl on it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
just
have it
can't
over
think of
here
it.
next to me.
So,
Anyway.
and I would uh Keisha, if that's when you're stitching this year, then we can
Mhm.
probably split
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, it's on my list of things.
It is, they are big skeins and it's going to be lovely. And it's all the blue chest of the owl. And it goes through a couple of colors in there. Yes.
That's
Starry owl. So I also decided that, a skein of floss should not travel alone. Oh, I got a piece of red pear, Weeks Dye Works red
Ooh,
pear,
love red.
which I just love this fabric. So pretty. And yeah, that was just great. Then I got, oh, here's the exciting thing. Look, I got some rings. They're little
Woohoo.
rings. If you need some rings, Keisha, I have 100.
Oh, good to
They're
know.
only 1 inch, so they can't have very many colors. But
Sure.
then I also got my color and cotton fabric of the month for January. So I think I already flashed it a little bit. Look away if you haven't gotten yours. And this one is so fun. I get a 32 count linen, and this one is called Space Cadet.
Oh, well, I can't wait.
That's what it looks
Ooh,
like. It is so
pretty.
pretty. What I like about her fabrics is they're not highly, um, they aren't highly variegated in
Mhm.
color, but they have such nice movement.
Yes.
I mean, you can see there are lighter spots through there. And
Hmm.
I love my fabrics that change a lot for sure.
Hmm.
But, when you just want something subtle and
Hmm.
really nice to work on,
Yeah, yeah, subtle, and she has a lot of different colors, and they're just pretty.
yes, they feel good. I mean, like the whole experience is just nice.
If you're a
So
person who stitches on even weave, but you're like, I'd like to give linen a go, color and cotton. Her linens kind of feel a little bit like even weave, like just in how they kind of stay together.
just lovely, lovely stuff.
Mhm.
So, that's all for my stash. I didn't have a ton, but I got some nice things. I was
Yeah,
happy.
I got some past the stash, but
Oh,
uh
yes, you did.
yeah, yeah, some the
Katie bought
Landises
this
have bought it
twice.
twice. So I do have some of
Or
that sort of thing, but
we each bought it. And
mhm.
Katie and I have decided that we don't need to stitch it twice.
Right, right.
So one of us would keep it, and then it was in that pile. So if
Mhm.
Keisha wanted it, then they were there, which
Yeah.
you've gotten some other past the stash where we've
Hmm.
done that recently. And
Yes.
so Keisha and I should have lots of start alongs.
Yeah, I have a lot of new things. I just didn't bring them all in here with me.
So we're up to finishes.
All right. It's the Lara show today.
Keisha had a finish,
I did. I
and you
had
did
my
a lot of
first
stitches to get it, right?
Yeah, I had my first finish of the year. I did all of the stitches in the past week. It's on a model for Katie, but I ended up doing a little over 500 stitches during our 24 hours.
Yeah. So we didn't change a lot, but I feel like there was significant progress in whatever we did.
Yes, for sure.
So I realized that I forgot to show you my last couple of finishes for the year.
All right.
And oh my gosh, my brain has gone. So I'm going to quickly look and see what this one was. I know the name of it. This is Love and Joy from Heartstring Samplery.
There we
And I got to get back where I can see you. And I did this on a piece of mystery linen from my stash. And you can see it was a
go.
tiny little piece that was left. And I have about, I would say, like an inch and a half
Mm-hmm.
on each side. And I just carefully started in the center. I knew it would fit.
Yeah.
And I love this fabric. So that's why we stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see if my floss tag was down here. It's all in the thing below. So really, that's what I can tell you. It's
Yeah.
all in our show notes. But I love this. And I have the other two, and I'm probably not, I chose my own red on this,
Mm-hmm.
and I will choose my own colors on the other two. I think I'm going to do one green and maybe the other one gold. And then if
Oh,
she
okay.
comes out with another one, I'll do blue.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
that's one. And then also before the end of the year, I finished this one is not going to show well on this. We're just going to go. Maybe I can use the back. Okay. So the next one is Welcome Spring from Little House Needleworks. And I pulled this out and just powered through because there was just not that much left to do.
Oh, so cute.
This is on a piece of Wichelt fabric. I believe it's just like light lavender. So
Mm-hmm.
there's about what color it is. Really
Super.
pretty. But also because it's Wichelt, then I had to make sure that I didn't carry too much.
Right, because you could see right through it.
And okay, here's the thing that I should say. I use the called for floss, which is Shabby Sheep by
Mm-hmm.
Classic Colorworks, and it variegates just a little. And so this sheep I stitched in a circular pattern
Yeah,
so that you would get that. And I feel like he looks a little fluffy that way.
he does. It looks like you used a couple different colors in him.
Yeah. And he's not striped because I did
Mhm.
it. It's a very subtle um variegation in
Yeah,
that floss.
I
So
really like that.
and yeah, it made sense to do it that way. This is what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
So it is really not, it does not change a ton,
Hmm.
but yeah. And obviously my purple fabric choice made it look more white.
Hmm.
So that's number two.
Right.
And then
Your 24-hour finish.
no,
No,
no.
you got
Number
another one.
three is my work project, which is Coffee Quaker from Heartstring Samplery.
Okay.
And it looks like this.
Ooh.
Um, this fabric was just called vintage.
Hmm.
Now, it very much makes me think of like the vintage country mocha,
Yes.
because it's through that, I mean, of that line, because it's only colored on the one side.
Mm.
And we looked at it. I looked at this with our friend Erica at camp because that's her favorite fabric.
Hmm.
And we decided that this must have been like the precursor to all of those vintage things because this
Hmm.
is not the same color as vintage country mocha, but it's absolutely the same process.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely fabric. It's 28 count And then I just chose random browns, and there's one green in here from my stash, and like a gold is right there below
Hmm.
my finger from my stash, and use those in here. So
Very nice.
this is what I decided at the beginning of the year, that it could be my school project and I would get that done. And about Thanksgiving, I started feeling like I could finish that thing. But then I was
Mhm.
working on other projects that needed to get done at school. So,
Right.
and then within what time did I finish? Within the last hour or within
Yeah,
the last hour?
thereabouts.
Somewhere in the last hour, hour and a half, I finished from hands-on design present blessings.
So pretty.
It's such a delicate little thing.
Hmm.
I just like it. And you can see I have a pretty good chunk. I think I'm going to just see if I can make this a pillow by sewing this together
Hmm.
um, and using, oops, there's a little piece of fuzz there, using the rest of the fabric as the back. And this
Okay.
also is a Wichelt fabric. I believe it's water lily.
Ooh, you like that one.
Yeah. And I got almost done and I said, oh my gosh, I'm trying to figure out where it is on here. Okay. I have not done the highlight color. So there's a pale
Oh.
green like inside that
Uh-huh.
gray. I had not done those stitches and I had to go do those. But this is my second finish for 2025.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I showed you my first one last week
Hmm.
out of order.
That's okay. We're
I
just here to see
maybe
it.
I even showed my first two. Who knows? Okay, Keisha, I've talked a long time.
You have talked a long time. Do we want to get into some whips?
Hmm.
All right. Well, you get to talk some more because we decided we were going to first show our first ones together.
So I'll insert the photo. And last week I kept doing this. And
Uh-huh.
then when I resolved the video, we had flipped places.
Oh no.
So I don't know if I need to say it'll be
It's
here. And it's
somewhere.
really funny because, yeah, anyway, we'll see if that happens every week, but
All
it'll be
right.
in here.
Yes. Somewhere.
That works, right?
There we go.
Okay,
All right. So here it is, Society Stitcher from Black Needle Society. This
look
is
at
mine.
hers.
It's teeny tiny. So that's what the bottom looks like. This is what the top looks like.
And mine is twice as big as Keisha's because I'm
Hmm.
going over two and she's going over what?
Yes. So that's where I am.
And
We,
thankfully, we did those stitches when
yeah,
we were
early.
more coherent.
Yes. Yes. So today I'm going to finish this on this side, and then I'm going to go down into the bottom and start doing the green down there. Um,
Okay, go ahead.
oh, this is on a piece of 32 count Enchanted Forest even weave from Forbidden Fiber. And it came in a box from Black Needle Society. And then this is Forbidden Fiber floss that Katie bought me a big old pe hank of. So,
And I will continue filling in letters. I had to pull out another piece because I was getting close with my blue. And
mhm.
so I'll finish as long as that strand goes. And then I'm going to keep filling in this box and get all of that done. So I'll have a whole box. And I said this last time, but this is the bottom of the cup. Well,
Mhm.
this is part of the bottom of the cup that's blue.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do as Lara is doing and do my letters while I'm stitching the green down there, or if I'll just stitch the green. I don't know.
Hmm.
Undecided.
So it'll be fun for you guys to see how we vary our
Yes,
approach to this. I will
for
still
sure.
be on that bottom when Keisha starts on it. That's what I know.
Yeah, because I well, I should start on it today. So,
Really?
um,
We're almost that far.
well, because I only have to make it down to the bottom.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, no, I'm almost to the bottom.
That's crazy.
All right. So I'll show you my next whip. I'm going to save the one with the most progress for later because I think it's pretty impressive. So the first thing I worked on um just during the week, I worked on Canoe Ride from Mill Hill. This is it came out last year. There
It's
we go.
really cold, but it's really bright.
Yes. And here's where I got to on it. Did a couple hundred stitches. Laura said it looks very mathematical. It does kind of look like a graph right now where I stitch. Um, I kind of worked, I put in anything that's not dark brown this past week. So it's really coming along and it's fun to work on.
It's so fun to see.
Yeah, I'm stitching this for a friend I have who's retiring. So I have to get it done by the end of February.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, I guess it's my turn to show one. I'm just watching you.
I mean, I can show you all of them if you want me to.
Next up is my blessing sampler, which is I would have to look and see who started this, but the idea is that you start a sampler on January 1st or whenever throughout the month, and you finish it before the end of January, and then you'll have a blessing on your stitching for the year.
Hmm.
And I feel like I need all the help I can get. So I am doing Jane Marshall from Jane Marshall 1857 from Hands Across the Sea, and it is one that they designed and they gave it away if you made a donation to their fire. It supports two fire brigades, and I'll put a picture in. Um, and I feel like it's so appropriate now with the fires in Los Angeles, in the California area.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but anyway, this is my progress. I have
Ooh,
been fascinated by the use of this bright red with all of these peachy colors, and it is just so pretty.
so pretty.
And I was a little late getting on with Keisha because I got obsessed and I was finishing off this border. So,
I was going to, while we are talking about just the fires that are happening in California, I this is in my new stash and I didn't show it. Um, Katie actually designed a pattern called Home is Here. You can get it if you go to the Black Needle Society's Facebook page. There's a link to a Ko-Fi account where you can buy this for $6, but you can spend more. And what Katie gets from this, uh, she is donating to World Central Kitchen, who is out and feeding the people who are displaced by these fires. So it's really, really beautiful pattern. So go support that if you feel so inclined. All right. So I will show you my next whip. I did work on this one during the 24 hours. I worked on Swimming with Scissors from Ink Circles. Now, last time I told you I had a counting error and I was trying to decide what to do. I just pulled it out and redid the part where I had the error.
I
So
feel like when it bothers your brain that much, that's really what you need to do.
well, and the problem is, like, if it was just in one spot, I probably would have left it, but it's symmetrical over here, and I would have had to try to remember it, and it would have been hard. So, I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Naiad linen from Under the Sea Fabrics, and here is where I am.
It looks
So
so good on that fabric.
thank you. I'm really excited about it. So I took out like this part up here at the top and I put it back in and I finished some of this greenery and then I put in the first little pair of scissors. So it's fun. I
So
really like this
cool.
one. Yes, I really like that one.
Okay, my next one is it's called a fishtail, and it says a fishtail has nothing on a salty yarn. And it was
Mhm.
for salty yarns. And when Katie and I were in their shop in 2021, they had a few of these kits left, and we bought them. So it
Mhm.
has this, which is the box top, and you can kind of see inside the box. And it has all of these things to go in it. And I previously finished this little guy, and I'm working on this one in the middle.
Okay.
So I got him started, and he is so cute. I should put this behind him. He is so cute.
Oh, very fun.
So it would not take much to finish him up. I was just trying to do some other stuff during the
Right.
weekend, and I thought, I don't know that I want to play with the itty bitty um little the little hoop and all of the things just to get in there. So
For sure.
um I think I'm using a petite needle in there because of
Mhm.
that. So, and that is just on whatever fabric and floss she included with the kit.
Mm.
So,
All right, I'll show you my last one, and I just added it up, and I should have done 3 more stitches on it because I was pretty close to having 1,000 stitches done between Friday and
okay,
Saturday.
we'll just wait and you put in 3 stitches. Okay.
So, I worked on This Is Fine. This is the pattern, but it's a free pattern. It's if you go to our cross stitch on Reddit and search for This Is Fine, you should be able to find it. Um, I'm going to show you because I think this is impressive, or it's impressive to me anyway. This is where I started on Friday, plus 96 stitches because I did 96 stitches during breaks that I had. And this is where I ended up.
That's a lot.
So I did a lot. I filled in the rest of the clouds. I started some of the green background. I did all of the orange that's in the flames. I filled in the hat. I filled in the mouth. So I was pretty proud of the progress that I made on this. I was trying to get it done. It's past what I wanted to get it done, but that's okay. My friend doesn't know that I'm making this for her birthday. Um, this is on 40 count. It's one strand over two, and I just love him.
And in person, that green is so pretty. I don't know
It,
why I'm so in love with that green, but it's
it
like,
it's a really nice minty green. It's DMC 164 in case you care.
but
Um,
it
yeah,
turns out so pretty.
I was really excited to make the progress, and so I I did just a lot of fill. I left a lot of spots to fill. So I filled the mouth, I filled the hat. All of this background is this green, so I did all of that. And then the orange around is just kind of traced around the yellow there. So it was some counting, but not a whole lot. So it was a good project. I was a little bit worried that the 40 count would be bad for my eyes once we got to a certain point, but I just kept going as long as my eyes would hold out. So
And they held out clear to the end.
clear to the end, I was working on 40 count.
The last one I have to show you is one that I was thinking I showed last week, but I did not. So it is Frog Prints by Bothy Threads.
So cute.
I was stitching this with my friend Jennifer, who has finished it. And just for fun, I will show you. I am keeping this in my 805 stitcher bag where we
Love
had
that
the
bag.
fabric. We had artwork done and sent it and had fabric created. And
Mm,
then we had the bags made by the 805 stitcher.
mhm.
So that inside fabric is adorable. But this was in a black needle box. It was in the nice list for 2023. And, it has frogs. I had to put this in there.
Right.
And I am stitching this on a piece of Once Upon a Time fabric from, um, oh my gosh, Fiberlicious. And it's gorgeous fabric.
Ooh.
And that is what I got done, which is one pass of green. So it's the lightest green
Hmm.
in the bottom. And
Nice.
yeah, I want to move this along because Jennifer's done. So I'd like to get mine
Mhm.
done too.
Right. Right.
That would be fun, right?
Yes.
And that's my last one.
Nice.
So, Katie during the weekend, spoiler alert, she finished 3 projects
Three.
and will probably, if she stitches today, she will finish up a fourth one because she
Mhm.
was really close on it.
Yeah, she did a bunch of smalls that she had barely started from the same magazine, but it was really cool to watch her work and finish those during the weekend or
Mm,
during the day. The weekend. It's still the weekend,
yeah, it
but
is,
it's
and it'll be a long weekend.
fun.
We've told you we're doing a stitching challenge in a one of our groups, and this last week we had the opportunity, or we had the ability to be able to stitch on 6 different projects.
Mhm.
And so we had a lot to show. I know Keisha doubles up. I had already done things because we start on Fridays.
Mhm.
I had already done things and shown them to you last week. I did not start on any of this next week's projects because I just didn't want to do it during all of this. But I am going to be working on, I wrote these down. I know I did. Do you want to talk about what you are doing in
Yeah,
plans and I'll look
sure.
mine up?
I can talk about it. So I have done most of the stitching that I need to do for this week because two of the,
Oh,
well, so I double up, um, and two of the things were going to be for This Is Fine. And I did almost 1,000 stitches on it. So I've done my stitches for the week on it for that. I'll do more stitching on that this week though. And then the other one that I need to work on, uh, is Flying Pink Piggy. I owe it 160 stitches. I brought it with me for 24 hours and then I was like, absolutely not.
well, when you start and you're already that many hours into it, and then,
Hmm.
yes, it
Yes.
probably would have had to be your first project.
So I will probably I have tomorrow off and it's a day where the boys have daycare. So I'm going to have a mom's day to just rest and maybe go out to lunch with my husband if he wants to do that. But I'll probably work on it then.
That'll be fun.
Mhm.
I found my note. I am going to be working on Singing Sparrow by Sweet Wing Studio.
Mhm.
Um, I think I have found that I could really move that along if I would just do it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of lettering, and I should make some good progress on that. I will owe that 180 stitches. And then I am also going to work on the 2017, yes, 2017, Linen and Threads Mystery Stitch Along, which I didn't start until 2018.
Mhm. Yeah. It's a
But
huge thing. It's a
yes,
huge thing.
I only owe it 60 stitches,
Mhm.
but I may try and do a little more because I'm ready for a new band.
Right.
So and then for 100 stitches, I will pull out Spring Moon, which I'm
Mhm.
really excited because I think I only worked on that like on the day that I started it this last
Oh,
year.
okay. Sure.
So that's exciting. And then I owe Frog Prince 100 stitches. So
Nice.
those are my plans. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, testing has started at school.
Mhm.
So I had 2 huge days with my work project, and over, I put in about 760, 770 stitches on it in 2 days.
Wow.
And that's cinnamon stars. And the progress on it, I'm sure it's how Keisha feels about This Is Fine,
Mhm.
because the change in the pictures is just crazy.
Yeah, it's fun to I would encourage you if you're not a person who takes pictures of your stuff, maybe do like a picture at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, just to see. I've been taking daily pictures of the things that I've been working on, and it's just cool to see the change from one point to another. Of course, I did a whole bunch of stitching this past uh these past few days, but this is where I started the month. Oh, well, if I could actually this down to change the brightness, this is where I started the month on This Is Fine. And just by concentrating on it, I've done so much. So
Mhm.
it's just kind of cool to take pictures of what you do so then you can see, you know, all of the progress. It's just kind of fun.
And what we can't see probably in there is, did you have the white filled in behind this is fine?
No, I had, let's see if I can get, oh, you can kind of see, there we go. You
I
can
see it
see
just
the
a
white
couple
that
of
I
rows.
had in there, but now I've filled in all of the white. So,
So on top of everything else, yes, she
oh
filled
yeah,
all of
that's,
that.
that white was terrible. You can see it's all filled in there, and then the eyes are filled in. But since it's a full coverage, like it absolutely makes a difference. So,
Mhm. So that's very cool. The other thing I would say is that if you are somebody who is journaling, if you get one of the little 2x3 printers, if you
mhm.
take that starting photo at the beginning of the month, then you could print that one off and then print one off at the end of the month and have the two to be able to compare in your journal.
Yeah,
So I think that's kind of fun.
yeah. Um, as far as my other plans, so I owe stitches to Flying Pink Piggy, and then I came up with all of this like big projects that I wanted to work on during the year and where I wanted to move them along to. Um, so obviously I want to get This Is Fine done. Um, and then I also need to get Canoe done. And Canoe, stitches and beads is over 5,000 stitches. So, um, I owe, I'm going to try my best to finish This Is Fine and then probably get about another 1,000 stitches on Canoe before the end of the month. So once I finish my challenge stitching, um, I'll probably switch back to those projects.
Oh, you do have another purchase this
Oh
week.
yeah, I do have another purchase. I purchased this whenever my brain was very fuzzy, but it is something that I wanted. So I got the digital version of the BNS stitching planner for 2025. So we're gonna see how that goes because I'm not good at journaling. But I am good at being on my phone. So we'll see how.
And the reason I thought of it is that I was going to show you guys. I have a snow day project, and I am not good about pulling it out on the day that it snows.
Mhm.
So I have decided that I'm going to write in my planner um, when it snows. And then I have decided that just much like our challenge, I am going to do 100 stitches minimum every
Mhm.
time that it snows. So what I will do is I will intentionally pull it out. And as I do this, then I will mark that I've done that snow day.
Yeah,
Um,
fun.
and people have talked about these, but I bought a whole set of friction pens. So I got pens and markers and highlighters. I think I got two kinds of pens. So in my set, there's a purple, a black, and a blue. And this is the eraser part. So you actually click them
Mhm.
on and off with the clip. But that's what I'm using in my journal so that I'll be able to move that along. I have not pulled my stickers out and done all the cool stickery things. Um, if you have that, if you have the journal, we do still have some more of them. You can buy the digital one, obviously, but
Mhm.
we also still have some physical planners. They're available on the website. And in our Facebook group, the Black Needle Society, there is a chat. So Facebook has added chats, and one of them is for planner ideas.
Oh,
And
fun.
they have been really chatting and talking there and showing pictures and just all the things about what they're doing in their planners. And it's awesome,
Ooh, I'll have to get in on that.
really inspiring, and a lot of good information and just thoughts about because I should have maybe shown a little bit. You get a monthly layout like
Mhm.
this,
Yeah.
and there are all sorts of challenges in here, but then you also get a weekly layout, and it has 3 boxes for each day.
Hmm.
So I did write in my first finish.
Nice.
And there's a place in the back to write your finishes. And you also, as part of your purchase, get the pattern for this.
Mm,
Now it's a solid, it doesn't give you the colors,
yeah.
but I am planning to figure that out and just divide mine up and do it as a gradient.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, I was looking at that too, and I was like, should I make that my
Yes.
next 25/7 project? Am I just gonna do
And also in the
18?
back is a pocket that will hold like your stickers and things.
Oh, cool.
So, and we have some sets. We don't have full sets of the stickers, but we have two sheets, 2 pages of the stickers that
Mhm.
are available still. So anyway, that's my plug. I won't say anything else. So when Katie had done this, I said, are you gonna publish the pattern? Are you gonna include the pattern? And she goes, well, Mom, I didn't fill this in. And I
Yeah.
said, well, I think you should fix that. So what we got is that great big butterfly, which wouldn't it be great all on its own?
Yes. So pretty. The snails and the cats.
And I'm sure there's a rabbit in here because she knows how I like them. Owls. There's a
So
frog. So yes, there are all sorts of cool things. The
that
bunnies
Katie.
are right there.
That Katie.
So yeah, we may have to up our 25/7 a little bit and finish it sooner so that we can work on that too, right? And finish it during the year.
Sure, sure, why not? I'll do it over one too. It'll be fine. Just
Oh
the
my
basics.
God. We'll have to see how many stitches that one is.
That's right.
Um, the other thing that we've been doing and that you can help us out is that I have been noting different different plans that people are using to keep themselves motivated with their stitching during the year. And Keisha and I will probably try some out. Right now, with our stitching group, we're pretty good and motivated.
Yeah, for sure.
And adding the 25/7 um, for and seriously doing 25 stitches
Yeah.
um, has been that's been a good addition to it. And I'm doing the blessing sampler
Mhm.
additionally to that, which is with the size I chose, it's about 175 stitches a day.
Mhm.
So probably I will not want to do something else that will cost me 175 stitches a day
Right.
next month, but I may come up with another challenge that I'll do. And we've had some fun things uh,
Mhm.
come through that we're thinking about. So what challenges have you guys heard
Yeah.
about? What do you use with your stitching to help you get through projects and make good progress?
Right. What sort of challenges do you think we should try? Because we love a challenge, but keep in mind it has to be adaptable for someone who can do a lot of stitches in a day and someone who can't do a lot of stitches in a day. Uh, because I'm a slow stitcher anyway. So I'll test for you guys who don't have a whole lot of who get like an hour or two of stitching a day and don't stitch quickly. I'll test some things for you.
Yeah, and I get more time on the weekend.
Yes.
Um, right now I'm stitching a model, and so
Mhm.
when I finish my required stitches for the day, I am spending my evenings on the model. But
Mhm.
I can get my minimum on the model is 300 stitches a day.
Mhm.
So I get that in addition to the other 200 stitches that I have.
On
Um,
on
yeah,
daily stuff.
yes. And if there's anything else I need to pull out. So
Right. But Lara, if she had the same 2 hours as I had, she'd probably double what I did.
Keisha thinks I am, but I think it motivates her. So we're just going to let her think that.
Stitch as fast as Lara Landis. I'm not as fast as Katie. Woof.
She is quick, isn't
It's
she?
quick.
And we have found out, we knew that our friend Jennifer was very quick, but we have found out who the other very quick stitchers are in our group too. And
Everybody's just finishing everything.
mhm. And I love it. People are like, I pulled this out because it didn't have very many stitches left and I finished it. And we're like,
Mhm.
yes.
Way to
So,
go.
but the bad thing is we're getting to see all the eye candy because of it.
hmm hmm Blinders. I have
Yes.
big goals for this year, blinders.
Yes. And people will say, "Oh, we could start this together." And then I'll think, "I have that pattern. I could do."
And
No.
then Laura will say, a group of us are starting this together. Do you want to start it too? Of course I do. Of course.
I've already talked Keisha into a start for October. So,
It's a problem, which means I have to finish something else by October so I can start that.
and I can't think of the name of it. We'll probably start in September like we did this year
Hmm.
or in 2024. It's a new year.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Are you looking at the chat to see what?
I was going to go and see what it is. It's another Silver Creek. Oh, it's called Reaping Love.
Oh, yes. And I love this one. And
Hmm.
Katie decided that it's something that yeah, she would like to see done, but it's not one that she's getting too soon. So she gave it to me so that I could start it. So,
Fun.
and it'll be cute with our Izzy decaying. And then
Hmm.
I think if we do this a third year, Keisha already has another one.
Yeah, there's like a shoe boutique one that's funny, so
So yeah, we may just and we talked our two friends into doing this with us who started Izzy decaying with us. So
yeah. So we're excited.
that's a long off plan. So you could get I Love You to Death before September and get all ready, and then we'll tell you when we start.
Yep, for sure. I
So, is there anything else that we need in plans?
don't think so.
I think we're good, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
have we rambled enough?
Ooh, and my brain can't do any more shenanigans this weekend.
Then, really, there's nothing left to say except good night.
Good night. Goodbye. See you eventually. Have a good week.